Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Superbike 22. We're going to be using Toprak Razgatioglu right here in Donington Park. It's TSO Superpole time. It's time to get some good lap times in. Now, if you've seen the video I posted a couple of hours ago, I had some issues with the time trial here in Donington Park because of a bug that kept forcing you to invalidate each lap every single time you restarted a flying lap. So I thought, well, I still want to do some sort of qualifying format or some sort of time trial. So I thought, why not try Superpole? It's not something I've shown you before, so let's give it a try. So effectively, it's basically your 15 minutes of just trying to get the fastest lap time. All 24 riders competing, and that's exactly what we're going to try and do. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned it before. I think I may have done, but if you're new to the channel, I'll tell you anyway. I'm finding the Yamaha is the least friendly bike for me on Superbike 22, so I'm keen to see how we're going to get on around this circuit of Donington Park, a track I know extremely well, a track I absolutely adore, and a track I went to just a good couple of months ago to watch the Superbike race where Toprak dominated the majority of the proceedings. But I've tweaked the braking a little bit. I've now implemented manual gears, and I even tried a little bit of a setup change for the first time in any bike game that I've used, and I've got to say, it's beginning to feel a little bit better. I'm beginning to get the feeling back of the MotoGP 21 physics, and I think we're getting there. Understanding the superbikes a little bit more, and sort of just preparing for a different riding style compared to what I was doing in the previous MotoGP games. But now that the first warm-up lap is complete, we'll get across the line and we will start our first lap of the Superpole session. So braking in nice and firm into Redgate. Do need to be careful here that I don't downshift too much, and I also don't hit the rear brake too much because I'm finding the rear tyre slips quite a bit, and we're running the SC1 and SC0 tyre. May consider trying the SCQ or even the SCX. We'll see how we get on, but for the time being, looking okay. Of course, red sector is our only sector so far, and it's good to see that it's red, but with no lap time set, doesn't really matter what lap time we actually do right now, it's going to be the top of the pile. But Eugene Lamity currently sits on the top as we get caught on the rumble strip. Really detest the rumble strips in these games. I don't know what it is, but they are just so damn bouncy. You get caught up on them and you just say effectively a bucking bronco. You're going all over the shop. So do be very careful and stay the hell away from the rumble strips in Superbike 22. So nice change of direction into the foggy TS's, as we'll now prepare ourselves to go into the Melbourne Loop, a ridiculously tight corner, and you need to reduce as much speed as possible down to around 30 miles an hour to try and tackle turn 10 here in Donington Park. But now firm on the brakes in a zone that I really struggled with. I found I was braking a little bit too early, and this time into Goddard's, way too early and way too late on the brakes. Happy Siren does take the top spot for now. The Fish, of course, excellent rider, which I do intend to plan to do a video on very soon. So for the Malaysian fans and the Asian supporters of mine, keep an eye out for how the Happy Siren video. I know you guys have requested it, so stick around for now. But now into the left hand side for the crane of curves that change of direction, and then a nice gentle bit of braking here, bringing it in to the right hand side for the old hairpin. Beginning to get a bit of feeling. I do feel rather confident from Starkey's Bridge up into McLean and then into Coppice for the right-hander coming up just after this one. But for the time being, it's pretty smooth. I hope you guys are enjoying the content so far. If you are, be sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing to see a lot more Superbike 22 content. I do plan on doing my braking guide very soon. I feel like I'm getting the hang of it now, and I do feel like I can give some solid advice to help you improve your braking in Superbike 22. So stick around for that, and also keep an eye out for my review, which will give my full opinion of Superbike 22. But for now, we're going to be going up into the third split as a red sector once again for Toprak Razgatioglu. So we could be looking at top spot here. By how much? I guess that's to be decided. But so far, Tati Mercado, top man, and with Happy Siren, his teammate, with him, with the 1:26.103, and there is the Fish that we speak of. But now looking at the timing screens, looks like Andrea Locatelli has gone to the top until Toprak beats him, beating his teammate by a good few tenths of a second. But then since we went back to the pits to have a change of tyres and to add into the SCQ, Ika Leko-Ona, the fastest man on track right now with a 1:25.678. So with a good few minutes remaining of this session, we could be looking at a very interesting lap time as we make a massive mistake there, just cutting onto the rumble strip. I've done that a few times in my own time, but now doing it whilst recording at the same time, that is certainly not ideal. Bit of a blunder from the world champion, but I'm sure we can recover. Let's get this lap over and done with, and we'll get back to it to try and set the new fastest lap. But we were very quick into that first sector, even though we had that small error, which certainly could have been much more costly. But currently as it stands, top 8 Lekona and Vierge on the front row, so 2 Hondas up there in the first 2, and then of course Alvaro Bautista was Bautista until Johnny Ray pipped him for the final position on the rostrum. And then Axel Bassani gets himself involved there into 3rd position. Good to see, with Johnny Ray and Bautista moving backwards, and Toprak down to 6th with Locatelli and Luca Bernardi in 8th position. So getting that confidence back with the bike is quite paramount, but I'm going to move out of the way here, let the riders pass me. I don't want to be held up with any rider going a little bit slower, or maybe the AI just might struggle a little bit in a certain corner. So I'm going to try and slow things down. Rinaldi deciding to go into the pits rather early. Good job they ghost, I guess, but I think I'd prefer if they just moved off the track. That's what would be a lot nicer for me. But anyway, across the line, we're going to be starting our 4th lap of today's video as we break into turn 1, a little bit out of shape into Redgate, but still quite confident on board the R1. So bringing it to the right hand side now into Hollywood as we gently tip the motorcycle across into Craner Curves, and then we'll get hard on the brakes just before going into the old hairpin. So keep it in as tight as you can, and then bring on the power, change the direction here for the left hand side for Starkey's Bridge, and then slowly bring on the power. I'm probably not going to get to 6th gear there. I'll probably just stick it at 5th and then start braking in, keeping a nice tight apex into McLean's is quite important and quite paramount for a good exit. Do any later than that and you're probably not going to get a good exit up on the rise to Coppice. So to the right hand side now, power to the maximum. Full acceleration we go, still in 6th position as things stand, but firm on the brakes. Be careful of any sort of stoppy or endo as we now trail behind Scott Redding into the Foggers. Yeses, we are going to be improving if things stay the same by at least 2.5 tenths of a second, so solid job from Toprak. But there is that endo I mentioned a little bit, just briefly lifting the rear tyre up. It's certainly far from ideal, but we're still pretty solid as Scott Redding completely comes off the brakes there, comes off the acceleration and hits the brakes hard. That completely threw me off, but then of course I realised he is just simply a ghost and I can just travel through. But nonetheless, look at that improvement, up to 2nd position, or 4th position, excuse me, by 62,000 of a second behind Lekona and 7,000 of a second behind Axel Bassani. That is pushing to the maximum. Another SCQ and an SC1 tyre shoved in for this R1 as we go into Craner Curves for the probably penultimate time. I do believe if we continue this lap as the speed we're going, we'll certainly get another attempt in this one, and those tyres should be absolutely fine with plenty of fuel remaining. So to the left hand side we'll go and then slowly tip the bike over with a bit of firm braking. Not ideal, going too wide is going to cost you. Mentioned this on the previous lap, if you go wide there you're compromising your exit into Coppice and you're not going to get a good drive then for the next couple of corners. So just be very careful with that one, guys. It's too easy to make that mistake, and I've done it here today, so fingers crossed I could improve upon that for the next couple of times. But into the Foggers yeses, nice change of direction there as we now bring on the power. Garrett Gerloff went to the top just briefly as Michael Ruben Rinaldi is now the top man with a 125.345, but we're way too late into the Melbourne hairpin and we've got to do this work again. But now I'm a little bit concerned. Lavity ahead of us, and even I can't quite see who it is. It looks like it could be one of the Yamahas. It is. It's Christophe Ponson in 23rd position. These two riders could certainly hinder our progress here, so we have to be careful for this next part of the lap. So here we go then, the final lap of today's Superpole session, looking to get onto the podium, or at least, excuse me, for the rostrum start for the front row. We'll soon see what we can produce. But into Hollywood then for the final time asking. Change of direction as we hit the rev limiter, as we just tip the bike in at the right time, drop it down into 2nd gear, move the bike over to the right hand side, prepare yourself for a lean for the left into Starkey's Bridge. Good stuff so far. Do we have enough to get past Lavity and Ponson? They're really in the way now, but we are right on their heels. Really need to get past Eugene Lavity. Do we have enough speed? We certainly do. Coming up the inside of not 1 but 2. Oh, Ponson is not making it easy, but we're going to slip on through to the right for Coppice. 4/10 of a second we are quicker right now, and we're practically racing right now. Brilliant performance if we can get this one done. Looking for a 1:25.3 as we get into the tightest part of the Fogarty S. So certainly still on it at this stage of the Superpole session. 3.5 of a second is in the favour of Toprak right now as we go firm on the brakes into Melbourne. I think we might have this one. We've got to get it right into the final corner for Goddard's. If we do, we're looking at our first Superpole pole position here in Superbike 22. But a little bit late on the brakes there, waiting for the opportunity to bring on the power. We're going to be improving, but is it enough? Across the line, we have the Superpole. And by the thinnest of margins, 26,000th of a second separates Toprak and Michael Ruben Rinaldi. So guys, thanks for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see a race here as well with Toprak, and I'll certainly oblige. But upon that note, that's going to be it from me. So like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.